Following the outlier strategy for YouTube for our online education business was one of the worst advice we actually followed. Because yes, we got a lot more views, but the reality when looking at the data is that a lot of them were empty views and none of them really became leads and eventually customers. So in this video, we're going to share why we believe the outlier strategy could work for businesses, but it has a massive asterisk and disclaimer next to it, which is what we're going to break down in this video. So first of all, what is this outlier strategy, in case you haven't heard of it before?
Ultimately, it's all about finding videos, more specifically titles and thumbnails, that have worked on other channels in your niche, ideally, that performed above average, got more than 2 times more views than the average, so that the theory goes, there is a pull here, let's recreate that, let's copy, emulate title and thumbnail for our own channel, and push a similar video out into the YouTube sphere.
Yes, so if we want to go for a concrete example, let's say how we did that for our first online education business, which a little bit of context was about how to help people move and actually settle in Germany. So that's the niche that we're looking for, right? Relocation specifically in Germany.
Right, so then other channels that we'd be looking for naturally would be other countries where people are having similar YouTube channels in educating people about that country. That was mainly Spain, France, Finland, so European countries per se that we looked at. And one particular outlier that really proved to be a very, very bad example and bad advice is this one right here. So we dove into the channel from a guy in Finland. And when we look at the outliers, there's a tool called 1 of 10 that looks like this, which tells us this video got 8.3 times as many views as the average of this Finnish channel, so to speak. So fantastic. The view count in the niche is relatively high. Let's recreate that.
You can't see the view count.
The view count here is relatively high. So we said, cool, let's recreate that. And we pretty much went out there, wrote our outline, and just did without giving it any other thought.
Yes, and that's how we ended up with this other video that we created for our niche, which is things okay in Germany, but illegal around the world. Let's just take a moment to look at that AI-generated images of myself. Our editor even said that the one on the left, I looked like Bob Dylan. I'll take that as a compliment.
That's out of scope. So as you can see, if we go back, we literally recreated, if you look at the thumbnail, we recreated that one-to-one, twice behind jail, and we just swapped the weed for the beer. But ultimately, it's a copy. Also, the title, Things Okay in Germany, but illegal around the world. The outlier was Things Okay in Finland, but illegal around the world. So you get the concept, right? This couldn't be a better example for this. And the thing about this video is that it did also get some views, not as many as the outlier. Quite all right views for our channel, Simple Germany. However, and this is the big thing why it's the worst strategy for online education business owners if there's not this massive ad traffic. Most of those views were empty because what happened is the topic is so general that it just attracted a bunch of people just bored and looking for entertainment, a bunch of people already in Germany, a bunch of Germans. So not the ideal client that is still looking to move to Germany. Maybe also this much, but if we look at the geographics, over 65% were already in Germany. So massive mismatch to who we are actually trying to attract and why we're on YouTube in the first place.
Right, because our core offer at the moment was also for people to help to move to Germany. And if 60% of the people, wow, that's my notification, it was very loud. And if 60% of people are already in Germany, then there's a massive disconnect there, right? So hold on, let me look at my notes. Yeah, so then what do we do different now? So we realized that the strategy is great for attracting views, but not always great for attracting the right views.
If we don't answer the asterisks and actually think, I mean, this is also on us, right? We didn't
100%.
ask the next question. That is the lesson of this whole video. The next question, what we do differently now, is that we always ask, does it, meaning the topic of the video, does it solve a core problem for our ideal client? And the key aspect is here a core problem. Because if we would have asked that question beforehand, things okay or things okay in Germany but illegal around the world, it has nothing to do with moving to Germany. It's literally just a cultural, interesting video. And if we would have had that view and that question in our head, then we could have avoided recording the video in the first place.
Yes, because you could argue, right, that, okay, maybe people wanting to move to Germany might be interested in things that are illegal because they don't want to break the law and go to jail, essentially. However, is it a core problem? If someone is planning to move to Germany at this very moment, maybe that's a problem number, I don't know, if we have a list of 100 problems, maybe that's problem number 60. And maybe these are things that you only think once you're in the country and a little bit more settled. Because before that, there's a bunch of other core problems like, how am I going to get my visa? How am I going to get an apartment? More like survival questions, right? So I think that that's where we missed the mark. And like you say, of course, responsibility is fully in us because we just blindly followed the example. We also wanted to test. I think a lot of things in life, people tell us, be careful of doing this or don't do that. But only by doing it and testing it and going through it ourselves and actually seeing the consequences and the effect of following such advice without answering the question, is this a core problem, taught us the lesson in our bones and in our skin that we can now talk about it today.
And one of the main reasons why for us following the outlier strategy is a massive trap as an online education business owner is particularly because our niche on YouTube has a lot of YouTubers. So they are really only going after the views. And there's no real business per se other than the typical, I get sponsors or maybe I have an affiliate here and there. But there's no core product that they are an offer that they're helping people with. And if that is the baseline, of course, they are going for very different topics. And they don't have this question of, does this video solve a core problem of our ideal client, right?
Right, because for them, the core problem is, can this video get the most amount of views possible for example, get a big paycheck from a sponsor?
Yeah. And because of these different types of reasons on being on YouTube, we've identified for ourselves that we have a constant, not fight, but tension between different identities in ourselves. Because on the one hand, we are creators. We love doing and recording YouTube videos. On the other hand, we're educators because we love teaching our ideal client how to move to Germany in this moment in time. And thirdly, we're business owners because ultimately we're here in the first place because we want to run a profitable business that fuels the life that we want to live. And those three identities are in constant tension. And we have identified, thanks to this lesson learned right here, how we can bring them in a unison triangle and benefit from all three instead of having them fight each other. And how we figure that out? Well, guess what? You can watch it in the next video right here.
See you there.